Alright guys, it's time. It is time. And how cliche can I be? Shall I say we've hit every bump in the road? Shall I say we've taken every swerve and curve and wrong turn? We've seen every road sign on the road to WrestleMania, and we have reached the end. WrestleMania is tomorrow night. This is the last installment of Road Signs. Thanks for coming along for the trip. Okay, I'm going to start this off with a little bit of heat. Midway through last year, for those of you that don't know, I'm not in Toronto, Canada, but close enough, and the rumor running rampant in the middle of last year was that WrestleMania next year was going to be at the Skydome again, or at Rogers Center, or whatever. Obviously, anybody that's been to WWE.com knows it's not going to be. It's not going to be in Toronto. I think they said it's going to be in Miami or something like that. Heartbreaking for me, only because it would be a kind of homecoming for me. And I'll illustrate this by the one piece of WrestleMania memorabilia that I do have. Oh yes, I was at Skydome for Rockin' Austin. Oh yes, I was, and I will be wearing that bad boy Sunday night. Trust me on that one. So yeah, WWE, you're supposed to come to Toronto next year. You didn't do it, so there's a little bird from me to you. But I will not linger on that point, will I? Because this year is this year. Question for my fellow YouTubers out there, and I've even gotten a couple comments to my inbox about this. So many of you made your preview videos right after Raw. I mean, I know SmackDown's not always that great, but you never know what could have happened on SmackDown. Nothing did. But there's a reason I didn't do my preview video until now. Now, this is not in any way to put down the guys that I'm subscribed to, like King Spinnernet, like Mark R. Pearson, Black Cat Feline, all you guys that do your shit and do it quite well. It's just a little curiosity on my part, and to the people who are uppity enough to actually write me and be like, hey, where's your preview vid? I'm not going to name names because that's rude, but that's why, in case anybody was wondering. Now, a couple things before we get to the actual WrestleMania card. I watched the WrestleMania press conference, or the recording of the WrestleMania press conference, hosted mostly by Michael Cole and Stephanie McMahon. There's a pair to draw to, isn't it? I won't go through the whole thing, because a bunch of people obviously got up there with their bravado and said, hey, I'm going to win, hey, I'm going to win, hey, I'm going to win, and hey, look how far the WWE has come. Basically like any other press conference the WWE's ever done, with two exceptions. Snooki was there, yay, and started referring to her team of Snooki and Trish Stratus and John Morrison as the Brunette Mafia. Lame. I'm just going to, that was lame enough that I had to mention it and say lame, just like that. The one awesome spot in this entire press conference was Stephanie McMahon giving her memories of WrestleMania 1, you know, hanging out when she was a kid, hanging out with Andre the Giant, hanging out with, you know, this person, that person, whatever. And she started naming off people that were at WrestleMania 1, like Piper, like Snuka, like Hogan. And as soon as she said Hogan, the place lit up with boos, and did she not just stop her speech right there and say, don't worry, he's not going to be at this WrestleMania. And the whole place lit up, and I thought that was a nice little jab at TNA that I enjoyed quite a bit. Now, Facebook and Twitter and all sorts of other rumor fertilizer type places on the internet have been firing for the past couple of days. Apparently, I didn't know until today, that Triple H will not be coming out to his typical Motorhead music at WrestleMania when he fights The Undertaker. The rumor is that he's coming out to something by Metallica, and the rumor further to that is that it will be For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica. Now, I've done other videos before talking about music and my opinions on certain things. A couple videos ago I mentioned in one of my videos that I do not like what they're doing with The Undertaker right now. As far as his entrance goes, he needs to have Graveyard Symphony and his typical Undertaker entrance. They're doing this Johnny Cash bullshit and whatever. And just WrestleMania as a pay-per-view in general, for the past couple of years, has had these poppy little, jumpy little tunes rather than, you know, like rock music or something that indicates the aggression of the event that you're about to watch. Now, all that screw up aside, if this thing, what they're saying about Metallica with Triple H is true, I will say that for Sunday night, that will make up for the Johnny Cash bullshit for me. That's cool. And just if it is that song too, For Whom the Bell Tolls, with Undertaker having the gong in his music for years and years, the symbolism there can't be overlooked. It really, really can't. Another thought that passed by in my head as I was going through all these matches and what I wanted to say, and trust me, I've written a couple drafts of what I wanted to say in my preview video, but there's some stuff in this show that I disagree with, but there's not any silly stuff, like silly stipulations, whatever, freaking hair versus hair with Donald Trump and McMahon a couple years ago. Loser has to take their mask off. I mean, we've seen that a bunch of times. And, back in the days when Jerry Lawler was wrestling more regularly in his rivalry with Bret Hart, we had, like, the Kiss My Foot match, the Kiss My Ass match, and all. So as far as that level of silliness, there really isn't much of that, or at least that they've said yet, which is good, isn't it? Now, before WrestleMania, the big thing in the media this year has been how WrestleMania has become a week-long event. And they do the charity golf tournament, and they do the art show, and they do fan access, which is an amazing bit of business there. And it's all capped off by the Hall of Fame on Saturday. Now, I was listening to an interview with Legion of Doom member Animal, Paul Laurinaitis. I do not know how to pronounce his last name, and I'm sorry for that. But he helped make the announcement that the WWE will actually be buying a physical building to make the Hall of Fame out of. Now, I didn't know this. I thought that they already had a building. I was wrong, obviously, but I think that's pretty cool because the Hall of Fame, as much as it is an honor, as much as it is a recognition of somebody's accomplishments or whatever, if there's not any actual physical thing, it's just a list of names at the end of the day, isn't it? So that's cool. So let's look at who's going into the Hall of Fame this year. Drew Carey in the celebrity wing of the Hall of Fame. Oh dear. Drew Carey showed up in WWE programming one time, decided to enter his fat ass in the Royal Rumble, decided to hop in the ring with Kane, try to bribe Kane, have it not work, and eliminate himself. So for a couple minutes of work, he's going into the Hall. I don't get it. Like, there's other guys that could go in there, like the Mike Tyson thing from WrestleMania 14, obviously. If they want to talk about the other actual competitors that have come in, like what Mayweather did with the Big Show, like what Akebono did with the Big Show, a lot of the football, other athletes like that were involved in the earlier WrestleManias, I could swallow that, but freaking, he spent 2 minutes in a Royal Rumble and looked like an idiot doing it, and he's going, I don't know. Celebrity wing of the Hall of Fame. Like, if they want to recognize him and thank him for participating, go over to Hollywood, give him a little plaque and a little watch or whatever. Thank you, WWE, thanks you for your participation in our televised event. I would have no problem with that whatsoever, because you know what? It was a funny moment. People will remember it, da-da-da-da. But it's not Hall of Fame worthy, isn't it? Especially when you see the people that are in the Hall of Fame, the Hogans, the Flairs, I digress. Abdullah the Butcher and Bullet Bob Armstrong, sad to say, I do not have very much knowledge on. I haven't watched them very much. Apparently Abdullah the Butcher was very, very big in ECW, which unfortunately I did not watch when it was in its heyday. I regret that now, incredibly. I find mixed matches here and there and such and so forth. Same with Bullet Bob Armstrong. I'm sure he's made loads and loads and loads of contributions to the pro wrestling industry. I'm just not familiar with them. So anybody that has their memories, comments, anything like that of Abdullah the Butcher or Bullet Bob Armstrong, please feel free to leave them in the comment box down there. I have fallen short on those two. Sunny. We all know the state of the women's division in wrestling now. If you want to look back and see who one of the original diva, knockout, whatever you want to call female wrestlers was, you've got your Fabulous Moolahs, your Mae Youngs and all that, but the next stage after that is people like Sunny and Sable. And in their day, they sort of stood alone, didn't they? Long overdue. Legion of Doom going in this year too. as I say, I've heard 2 interviews now with Animal since that was announced. Once again, I'm going to plug Jimmy Corderas and Arda Ocal and their work on Right After Wrestling on the Score, Sirius Radio. Not that they need my plugging, but anybody that is watching shooters like me or reviewers like me on YouTube would enjoy what these guys do. So for your own sake, go check it out or get it on iTunes, like I do, because I don't have satellite radio. For the Legion of Doom to go in and be recognized, especially now when the recognition of tag team wrestling at the state that it's in right now is almost zero, and it's all very much it's a single wrestler's world right now, whether you watch TNA or WWE or whatever, and the tag team divisions are kind of a joke. So in this day and age, especially for a tag team like Legion of Doom to be inducted is awesome. It's going to be very emotional. There's a whole lot of, Animal's going to be the only one there because obviously Hawk passed away, unfortunately, a couple years ago. So there's going to be a lot of emotion on that end, but it's a great thing, and it's long overdue. Anybody that watched the Legion of Doom back in the day, or the Road Warriors, or whatever they were called when you watched them, has to agree. Like, there was nobody that dominated tag team wrestling like they did in their heyday. Is it not true? Last one being Shawn Michaels, and what the hell can you say? Just his last 3 WrestleManias alone, his 2 rounds with The Undertaker and his match with Ric Flair, tell you all you need to know about Shawn Michaels. But there's, oh man, from the Rockers to DX and its various incarnations, to his rivalries with Austin, with Bret Hart, with Triple H, his brief sort of Austin wannabe rivalry with McMahon, and go back one more WrestleMania, his match with McMahon. He made McMahon look like $1 million, and a man's not a wrestler. So I could, I'm going to stop. I could spend the entire video talking about why Shawn Michaels deserves to be in the Hall of Fame and should have been in it while he was still wrestling. But that's it. For Legion of Doom and Shawn Michaels, literally on my note sheet here, I just put enough said. So I'm just rambling now. That's it for the Hall of Fame. And now we come to the show itself. And I have a very interesting question for all of you. And it was done on, this was kind of the way Mark Pearson started his video, and I'm going to go out with it as well. Anybody who wants to tell me how they spent their WrestleMania weekend, how they spent WrestleMania. Did you have a party? Did you have a barbecue? Did you go watch it in the theaters? Which you can do here in Canada. I don't know if they do that other places. I'm having a barbecue, and I don't have a lot of friends that are wrestling fans. So basically what I've done is put it out on Facebook, put it out on email, whatever. Guys, I'm having a barbecue. I'm watching wrestling. Anybody who wants to tag along can tag along. That's how that goes. So anybody that wants to share with me how they're spending their WrestleMania weekend, how they're spending WrestleMania night, I will tell you right now, I'm excited about WrestleMania. I booked the Monday off to recover because I will be watching WrestleMania more than once before I come back with my review video. So that's that. Now, with the Lawler and Cole match happening at WrestleMania, it doesn't make much sense for either of them to be on commentary for the show, does it? Now, it begs the question, who's going to be commentating WrestleMania? I don't exactly want to see Booker T doing it, but if we got just Matt Striker and Josh Matthews, that would be awesome. If they bring back JR for one night, which is what they should do, JR and Striker and Matthews have a little 3-team thing. Even if JR is there, you could even have Booker T there, because JR works with pretty much everybody. Voice of the WWE, other than Howard Finkel, isn't he? But I digress once again. This is why I wrote 3 or 4 drafts of what I wanted to say, so that I wouldn't be just bantering on like I'm doing. Anyway, okay. First match I'm going to talk about is the one match that I'm not looking forward to at all, and that's the Core versus Big Show, Kane, Santino Marella, and Vladimir Kozlov. This will be the piss break of the night, so I hope it's not on first, because I won't need a piss break at the beginning of the show. But obviously they're trying to push the Core. Why else would they have the Intercontinental belt and the Tag Team belts right now? Now, I don't like these big pile of people matches. I've said that before in other videos, whatever. But if you were going to put just a pile of people match together, off the top of my head, I will tell you right now, R-Truth, JTG, Christian, Kofi Kingston. There's your random 4 team to put up against the core. But I don't want to see that. I don't want to... The rematch between Wade Barrett and Kofi Kingston for the brand newly won Intercontinental was given away on SmackDown tonight. Not that I want to see Kofi Kingston in the ring at WrestleMania necessarily, but Christian has nothing to do with this pay-per-view, and there's a bunch of other guys that don't have anything to do on this pay-per-view. What I would love to see, and I know it sort of comes out of nowhere, and everybody's going to be like, what? The one guy that it's really been highlighted that he has nothing to do at WrestleMania is Drew McIntyre. Excuse me. I would have loved to see Drew McIntyre step up and say, I want to face Wade Barrett for the Intercontinental title. They would have had an amazing match. Or, get a bunch of people put in, like, Kofi Kingston, Wade Barrett, and somebody else, and maybe have, like, a three-way or whatever for the Intercontinental title match. Put some legitimacy to the fact that he just became the Intercontinental Champion. Same thing with the tag team titles. I'm not even necessarily saying that somebody could have beat them for the tag team titles at WrestleMania, but fight for the tag team titles at WrestleMania. Belts, championships need to be acknowledged at WrestleMania, is my point. The one guy in the core that doesn't have a belt is Ezekiel Jackson, and I've been saying for months and months and months, and other people have said similar, that with all the build-up they did between the Big Show and Ezekiel Jackson, could we have not had them one-on-one at WrestleMania? But no, they put this ragtag team together to push the core, and because they're the faces, they're going to win. So this team of the core that you've put your belts on, that you've put all this time into building up, are going to get absolutely squashed at WrestleMania, and that makes me sad. So like I say, predicting Big Show, Kane, Santino, and Vladimir to go over in this match. I would love to see the core squash them just because they're such a ragtag foursome of wrestlers that I don't give a shit about. I mean, Santino Marella and Vladimir Kozlov are the joke tag team of the WWE, and Big Show and Kane, individually and as a team, I just don't care about because they're getting slow, they're getting old, and they just don't have much of it anymore. That's that. Yep. Core's going to lose that match, in my opinion. Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan. I like this match, which is funny, because I've always said, and you people that have followed me for a long time, I don't have much good to say about Sheamus. I really don't. He did some good things with John Cena last year. His mini short-lived rivalry with John Morrison did a lot in my eyes to up my opinion of him, but it hasn't changed my mind to the fact, oh man, I gotta watch Raw because I'm going to see what Sheamus is going to do tonight. He's not there with me. And Daniel Bryan came in strong, came in sort of respectable. Apparently he had a whole bunch of cred from the independent leagues and whatever that I don't watch. But there was a lot of buzz, there was a lot of stir about him. And he was showing it when he first came in, and then they got him into the friggin' they got him into the bullshit with Michael Cole and The Miz, which kind of made him look like a tool. They got him into all this bullshit with the Bellas, and they're trying to make the Bellas heel by making Daniel Bryan superface, and then he just wasn't wrestling that good for a little bit, and but still, to watch him in the ring, he doesn't have, like, his point of charisma is that he doesn't have very much charisma. I've compared him to Chris Benoit on that level, and I still say that to this day. Chris Benoit was the same way. Chris Benoit's whole magnetizing factor, his whole point of charisma was the fact that he didn't have charisma, that he just went in there, he didn't look like a superstar, he looked like a guy that was just going to kick the shit out of you. Daniel Bryan has a little bit of that. Daniel Bryan, he's not pretty, he's not going to sit there and wail forever on the microphone, he's just going to, walk into the ring and bend you in half. Now, the match that these guys had when Sheamus won the U.S. title was to bring Sheamus back up from the slump that he was in, which I never understood. Because here's this guy that was beating John Cena at pay-per-views, all of a sudden getting squashed by Mark Henry on Raw for no reason at all. That's a fall from grace that would kill you if you hit a rock, is it not? But sort of to bring him out of that slump, they had him beat Daniel Bryan. So, the reason I like this match, the story is simple. There's not much to it at all. He beat me for my title, I want it back. You can't get much simpler than that. And simple is easy, and KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Sometimes it works. I'm really indifferent as to who I want to win this, because, and it's not to say that I don't care, it's not to say that it's going to be a good match. I won't mind either way. If Sheamus continues this push back up out of his slump, I won't exactly mind that. If Daniel Bryan starts getting the credit that he deserves again and starts coming out of that sort of lame little curve that he was in, I won't mind that either. Pretty sure they're going to have Daniel Bryan win. I don't know why. That's what I'm predicting. But yeah, like I say, they won't be able to piss me off in this match because it doesn't really matter to me who wins because I think they're both going to put on a hell of a match. Rey Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes. It's an interesting kind of build-up, isn't it? With the whole storyline with Rey Mysterio and the knee brace bashing in Cody Rhodes' face and Cody Rhodes not being dashing anymore and playing this guy that's sort of a bit disturbed, a bit deranged, sort of leaning towards some of the elements of sort of Mankind or Taz, with, hiding the face and being all very jumpy and subconscious and a little devious, actually. Here's my thing. I'm not a big fan of Cody Rhodes, but I want him to win this match. He should win this match. For every reason possible, he should win this match. Because Rey Mysterio is the mini John Cena, and they've built him up over the past couple of years, like Cena, that he's just unbeatable. And that's not cool. There's nothing entertaining about watching a guy that you know is going to win. So I hope that's not the case. I have a lot of respect for Rey Mysterio, don't get me wrong. Especially for what he was doing back in WCW when he was in the Cruiserweights and doing amazing things there. Do I think he'll come in and make Cody Rhodes look like $1 million whether he wins or loses? Yeah, because, there's got to be a little bit of a passing of the torch there. Rumors of Rey Mysterio retiring in the next 2 years sort of running rampant. I've come across them a lot. So if that is true, then there definitely needs to be a passing of the torch. And Cody Rhodes is busting his ass. He pushed his way through the whole legacy thing with Orton and DiBiase. He's muddled his way through the whole dashing Cody Rhodes thing, which drove me nuts. I don't know about you, but it didn't work for me. And he still managed to look good in the ring when he's actually putting on his matches. And now he's gone into this deep, dark, sort of deranged place, and I like what he's doing with it. With all my heart and soul, I want Cody Rhodes to win this match. I don't think it's going to happen. So, yeah, what do you want? Here's what's going to happen, here's what I want to happen, and very, very seldom do they mesh. Okay, Team Snooki, or I guess as she's dubbed them now, the Brunette Mafia, versus Ziggler, LayCool, with Vicky Guerrero in their corner. We all know why this is happening. There's two reasons, actually, that this is happening. One, the Snooki Jersey Shore, bring in all the eyeballs from TMZ and all the multimedia outlets that are going to be watching just that match. I get that. But I don't think she had to be in... I think you could have gotten all that attention if she had been the guest ring announcer for that match, as opposed to being in the ring. Second reason, which is a little bit more respectable, is Trish Stratus is one of the trainers on Tough Enough, which debuts the night after WrestleMania, after Raw. So they want to bring that attention to Tough Enough, which is awesome. Also, Trish Stratus is one of the most popular divas ever, and she can still get it done in the ring as long as she remembers not to wear high heels. Because, that was bad at the Elimination Chamber, wasn't it, when she totally missed the Stratosphere? Now, if there was a Money in the Bank match this year, the superstars of it would be John Morrison and Dolph Ziggler. Is there any debating that? So, and what I'm saying is, I want these guys to carry most of the match. Obviously, there's going to be some bullshit with the girls, and, Snooki can go smack Vicky Guerrero somewhere along the line, but I hope the majority of the competitive part of this match is carried by Dolph Ziggler and John Morrison, because is there any denying that these guys are going to be world champions one day, right? I've got absolutely no use for LayCool at all. I hope they get squashed by Trish and Snooki, and I don't even like Snooki. Snooki looks like a troll that popped out of Susan Boyle's ass after a bad taco. I've said it before, and I will say it again. Anybody that watches the Jersey Shore shit, no. It also highlights something else. There's no Divas title match at WrestleMania this year. The 8-man tag at the beginning translates into there's no Intercontinental title match, there's no tag team title match. This match is the only match that involves the women at all. There's no women's title match. The two most dominant women in WWE right now are Beth Phoenix and Natalya. They haven't even been seen, let alone touched this card, which is very, very disappointing to me. Okay, Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole. This is going to be another pile of people match. This is going to be a big, entertaining mess. This is not going to resemble a match at all. Is there any doubt that Austin, early and often, will take his shit out on Jack Swagger and get him out of there? Cole will dominate, Lawler will dominate Cole, beat the crap out of him. And there's any number of people that could get involved in this, isn't there? Like, in the turn of Michael Cole, he's sucked ass to Vicky Guerrero, Dolph Ziggler, Lay Cool, Miz, Alex Riley, etc., etc., etc. And he's pissed off everybody else, hasn't he? He's pissed off John Cena. He's pissed off all his other co-commentators. Josh Matthews, Booker T, JR, I don't know, whoever else, Matt Stryker. And there's a rumor that because Swagger is coming down to the ring with Michael Cole, that Jimmy Hart, of all people, is coming down to the ring with Jerry Lawler. Which is awesome. It's a little random if it is true. But there you go. Lawler's going to destroy Cole. It's a foregone conclusion. But when all the dust is settled and all the smoke is cleared, if WWE gave Cole this win, I'm not saying they would ever do it, but if they gave him this win, how much of a nuclear heel would he be? He would have, like, nuclear reactor heat on him for the rest of his career. Little side note, WWE, in all their new PG glory, don't let anybody get away with very much anymore. So how much does it say about the importance of this match that Michael Cole did not get fired, suspended, removed from WrestleMania, whatever you want to say it, after going all over Twitter and calling Josh Matthews a faggot? I mean, even if they were still in the Attitude Era, that would be inappropriate. But in their PG, child-friendly, bullshit, family-oriented or entertainment era, for this guy who's in one of the quote-unquote main events of WrestleMania to go around all over Twitter, all over the internet, calling one of his co-commentators a faggot in broad daylight, in the broad public that is the internet and media throughout such, how does he not get fired, suspended, removed from WrestleMania, whatever, unless WWE is actually hanging their hat on this match somehow? It's not right. Some of the other things that they've done too, mentioning Lawler's mother, who just passed away, bringing in Brian Christopher, who just looks like he's absolutely been smacked over the face by life. There's been a lot of distasteful things going into this match, which is unfortunate, because like I say, it's going to be a big pile of people, debacle, comical, entertaining match, but it's got those really, really uncomfortable undertones, so I hope that doesn't overlay into the match. I hope, I'm thinking, I hope they don't try to have Brian Christopher do a run-in or something stupid like that. Lawler to absolutely destroy Michael Cole. It's going to happen. Like I say, if for some reason they were dumb enough to give Cole the win, he would get nuclear heat, and I think the WWE as a whole would get nuclear heat. I think they'd get as much heat as TNA did for having the 1-minute match with Jeff Hardy and Sting. Yes, I do. Okay, next. One thing that has really bothered me the entire road to WrestleMania is everybody's saying, yeah, it's going to be a good card, it's going to be a good card, it's going to be a good show, but there's no main event. There's no one match on the card that says, yes, damn it, I want to see that match. And you're wrong. Or at least in my opinion, you're wrong. There is one match on the card that has that. And it's not the Undertaker match. It's not the Streak match. It's not a title match. It is Orton and Punk. Yeah, I said it. The way they've built this up, the way they connected it to events from 2.5 years ago, the way they've eliminated any bullshit that could happen. I mean, Orton has no allies. All of Punk's allies have been sent back to FCW at the end of Randy Orton's boot, haven't they? Oh, yes, they have, and it has been fun for a ride, has it not, for all of us? So they've eliminated all possibility of there being any bullshit. And is there any two people that match intensity and craziness, like genuine, believable craziness, than Randy Orton and CM Punk? They're both deranged. They are deranged. They are deranged. They are. The whole heel turn, or the whole personality turn that Cody Rhodes is doing, he could look at these guys and be like, this is how you be deranged, this is how you be disturbed, this is how you are so crazy and disturbed that the audience is almost uncomfortable. And to have two guys that have that in such proportion going head-to-head, one-on-one, plus their in-ring work is beyond, not beyond compare, but it's untouchable to anybody that's there right now. It has to be said. Match of the night, for sure. I'm conflicted, because pretty damn sure Randy Orton's going to win, but CM Punk should win. Because Randy Orton is kind of like Rey Mysterio in his match with Cody Rhodes, in that one more win at WrestleMania isn't going to do much for him. But CM Punk, to get a victory over Randy Orton at WrestleMania, will do huge things for him. And it will mean more than another Randy Orton win. And I'd like to see Punk go for another title soon. So, and it doesn't say it's not in any of the marquees, but you have to know that whoever wins this match is going to be getting a shot at something very, very soon. Also, even though Punk is the heel going into this match, he's still, if you follow their logic, he's still the one that's looking for revenge for being punted in the head 2 years ago. So, is he like a sympathetic heel? I don't know. I want him to win. I like him as a wrestler. Moving on, but Miz and Cena. This is a mess, isn't it? Super Cena is gonna win. Super Cena is gonna win. Super Cena is gonna win. I don't want him to win. I think John Cena needs to go away. I think John Cena needs to go the way of The Rock, if you want my honest opinion. And they've been spending, the past year trying to build up The Miz. And they're going to hand over The Miz on a silver platter so that Cena can have another victory, so that they can still have their superhero that sells the most merchandise of anybody in the company. I don't like it. And not only that, not only is Miz going to get squashed in the match, he's been squashed in the entire road to WrestleMania, because everybody is concentrating on The Rock and Cena. Even if you watch the last 5 seconds of the press conference that I watched online today, the last 5 seconds of the press conference is a stare down between The Rock and Cena. So now, not only is Cena staring down the guy that's not his opponent, but the guy with the title is not even in the picture. So badly, especially after the way Raw ended with The Rock getting an FU from Cena. I so badly want The Rock to go in there and fuck over Cena fully, and I want The Miz to get the win. I want The Miz to go over Cena, because he'll explode after that. I beat, the WWE's superhero at WrestleMania. Will that not do huge, huge things for his career? That, and like I say, I'm just sick of Cena in general. So yeah, I want The Miz to win with all my heart and soul. He's not going to, unless there's some sort of bullshit with The Rock. Del Rio and Edge. Del Rio is the new face. It was amazingly refreshing to have somebody that wasn't one of the usual suspects win at the Royal Rumble. I will give him that. But since then, he's gotten pushed way too hard, way too fast. And there's way too many other things going into this match. Edge has Christian in his corner, which is fine. Del Rio has Brutus Clay in his corner, who didn't even win NXT. And he's there and whatever. I hope Brutus Clay is not at WrestleMania. I know I'm hoping against hope there. But Christian's the main player, isn't it? Everybody knows Christian's going to go into this match and screw over somebody. Is he going to go in and try to get his revenge on Del Rio? Or is he going to go and screw over Edge? I don't know. I wouldn't mind having an Edge-Christian rivalry. It's happened before, and they did decent with it. I guess it's a matter of, do you want their rivalry to be over the world title or not? Do we want to have Edge keep the title and fight with Christian for the belt, or do we want to hand the belt over to Del Rio so that they can fight with nothing in between them? I don't know. I'm thinking Del Rio's gonna win one way or the other. I don't want him to. He's a good wrestler. As a character, I don't like him. I'm growing very slowly a respect for what he can do in the ring, and what people were saying before he came in, from what he was doing in Mexico and different things like that, which unfortunately I'm not familiar with. Starting to see what all those people were saying about what he can do in the ring, because some of the things he does in the ring are legitimately quite good. The fact that they've basically made his character into the Mexican version of JBL does not help my appreciation for him at all. So, with the monstrous push they gave him, including him winning the Rumble, I don't see him not getting the title some way or another at WrestleMania, which is unfortunate because Toronto hometown boy Edge needs to hold on to the belt, or, toss Christian into the mix, and the two Toronto boys can fight over the belt, and I win either way. And, throw in the Toronto girl, Trish Stratus can referee. We can all wave our Maple Leaf flags and be happy kids up here in the Great White North. Can we not? Now, almost an afterthought, and I hate to say it that way because it sounds so disrespectful, is Triple H and Taker. This is not going to live up to the hype that it has set for itself at all. They did the one thing that I hope they wouldn't do. They dragged Shawn Michaels into the mix. In the process, they had Undertaker in the middle of the ring sit there and insult Shawn Michaels the week before he's going into the Hall of Fame. Like, what the fuck is that? Again, it's like the Christian thing, isn't it? Everybody's thinking, oh, HBK's going to come in and screw over somebody. It's like, he's going to come in and screw over Undertaker and give Triple H the streak. If whoever beats the Undertaker, I don't think Undertaker's streak should ever be broken. First of all, let that be said. Second of all, if it ever is broken, it better be to somebody that deserves it. Third of all, if it ever is broken, it better not be with some bullshit run-in, interference, disqualification, or any other bullshit like that. I so strongly believe that because you will have strong fans along for well on into 20 years to have it end in bullshit. That is not cool. Let Shawn Michaels get inducted on Saturday and just let that be it. Please, just let that be it. The fact that they were really, I think they were really disrespectful to Shawn Michaels on Raw this past week. And they were disrespectful to Shawn Michaels to sell a match between Triple H and The Undertaker. And I don't get that. They're billing this, and even Shawn Michaels himself said it, which I don't get. Undertaker has had amazingly great matches the past couple years. He's had his matches with the guys that you knew weren't going to win, most notably Mark Henry in the casket match, where you knew he wasn't going to, where he wasn't going to lose, he wasn't going to break the streak, rather. But the past 3 or 4 years, he's had amazing matches at WrestleMania, twice with Shawn Michaels. Before that, the year before that with Edge. Depending on which way your preferences go in match types, go back 1 year more, have his match with Batista. A couple years before that, he had his match with Orton, which was also good, but Orton hadn't exactly reached his prime yet, had he? So all those, especially last year and the year before with Shawn Michaels, are you telling me that Triple H, who's been away for a year and hasn't really done anything to build this story at all, and has gone on record on private occasions in interviews saying that the streak should never be broken, is going to beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania, or even have a match as good as Shawn Michaels last year? Come on. The war to end all wars? Fuck that. Straight up. If this is the main event of the night, I'm going to be really disappointed. None of the main event matches, the streak match and the 2 title matches, I'm not as excited about them at all. Like I say, Lawler Cole's going to be fun. Orton and Punk is going, I'm going on record right now. Orton Punk is going to be the match of the night. Other than that, Sheamus and Daniel Bryan will be a good match. Rey Mysterio and Cody Rhodes could be good. Morrison and Ziggler's participation in their mixed tag match will be good. But none of the main events are tweaking me, really. So, that's all I got. There's not much else can be said. And, yeah. I've got my jersey. I will be wearing it tomorrow night. I don't know when I'm going to get the review for this for you guys. It's not going to be Sunday night. It will be Monday or Tuesday when I've had a chance to watch the show more than once. That's it, really. I hope you guys have a great WrestleMania Sunday, and I've been Spaz. Subscribe up there, talk down there, and I will see you after WrestleMania.